REA Auctions just launched a new platform, and their first auction recently ended. Today, we're going to take a look at the top 25 sales from the January auction, and then take a look at some of the different honorable mentions that sold alongside of it. There's 352 mantles that sold. There's a bunch of T206 Cobbs and a few regional issues that we cover in this video. So let's take a look at some sales. All right, let's start off with number 25, which is a T206 card sweet cap roll of Ty Cobb in a 3. And let's take a look at this a little bit closer. He has like a mole on this copy right over here. And then I'll take a look at the back. We do have a little bit of an overprint right over here. It's a factory 42. And let's take a look at the final sale price. So the sold price on this one was $4,400. Cobb has quite a few different cards in the T206 set, tons of different back variants across it. Personally, my favorite is the red, but the green does outsell the red. I'm not a huge fan of the green, but regardless, we're starting off on that. Up next, we have a 1952 Bowman Mickey Mantle in a 5. Older cert, it starts with a 1. Looks like there's a huge, like not a crack or a scratch or something like that on the slab. You can see it's not in the card. Basically, it goes from here down. And besides that one tough corner over there, it doesn't look too bad. Maybe a little bit on that side of things. Does this have a gum stain or not? It does have a gum stain, and you can see right there a little bit of a gum stain, which isn't too bad compared to some of the other 52s that I've seen. And this one sold for $4,500. We're going to jump into the first page now. With this new layout, and I don't know if it's been like this, but 24 per page. Now there is one jersey, which is this Michael Jordan, so that's why I looked at 2 on the other page. And yeah, let's start going through these. We have another Cobb over here, and this is the Bat on Shoulder Piedmont, and this one actually outsold the red a little bit. I usually thought the red would outsell it, especially the overprint back, but yeah, this one sold for, and that's interesting. I don't know if that's like a piece of the card or just a crack on the slab. $4,500 on that copy. Then we have an authentic 1933 Gaudi Ruth. Let's see why I mentioned if it's authentic or not. Altered surface and being trimmed. Okay. Usually they mention why I got the A, but I assume this is probably an older A. So let's take a look. I mean, this is a great copy though, even if it is trimmed. You can see there's like some staining down there. Still though, I'd rather have this copy than some of the 1s or 2s that I see, even though it is trimmed and it's taboo. Like, oh, we don't like trim cards, but regardless, I mean, this looks so nice. And it almost looks like that's part of the surface that's been altered too, a little bit, unless my eyes are deceiving me. Hard to say. I have 2 bright lights here to the sides. But $47.25 on that. A little bit of a rare card. It's a 1959 Home Run Derby. These were issued for the Home Run Derby series, I want to say, on TV, if I remember correctly about these. And you can see this is a 4. These are oversized cards. And some staining over there. A little bit of tough edge on that side of things. And yeah, completely different than our Home Run Derby format that we have today. Although even the one that we have today has changed so much over the last decade. But this sold for $4,800. And there's a lot of big names also in this Home Run Derby set. I should mention that. All right, we have a green Cobb Piedmont on this side of things. This got a 2. It has pretty rounded corners in my personal opinion for a 2. Looks like there is a scratch on the surface of that card. We'll go over here to the back and take a look. A little bit of staining. But this one sold for $4,900. Again, green's most popular on this side of things. I think green also is a little bit less on the pop report. So this is the jersey of Michael Jordan signed, limited edition high school jersey, sold for $5,000. What I want to take a look at next is some of these baseball postcards. This interests me. $5,500 for 15 baseball postcards. Okay, so what I'm wondering first is, are these just generic ones, or are these of specific teams, Major League Baseball teams? So that's a high school team. You can see Dexter High School. Another one over there. That's looks like sailors. There has to be something here. I don't think that's... Is there not one Major League one on here? It's American. Maybe that's an American. It's a Major League Baseball one. Maybe over here too. I don't. That's definitely not Major League Baseball. I don't know. This seems expensive for what it is. Let's see. It's hard to decipher some of these too. Yeah, I don't know what I'm missing on this lot. It seemed to went really, really high. I mean, 5,500 for 15 of these is crazy high. I must be missing something on here. I mean, like I said, this is a military one. This is high school. State baseball team. I don't think that's going to be Major League one. That doesn't look Major League. That doesn't look like Major League. We already said this is another one over here. Like a war postcard. That doesn't look Major League. Nope. It says juniors. Maybe a minor league team on this one. That's a prison one. You can see the prison there. So I assume this is also one of the prison ones. And the prison ones, they aren't bad, but they're not, you know, what was it, 15 cards for $5,500? I mean, you're not spending that much on that. Not there. American Blower Co. office team. So that's not a Major League team. I can't tell what's going on in this one down below. Rapid River Baseball team. Yeah, so that's not one. Maybe that's the only Major League one, and I can't even tell if that's a Major League one or a minor league one or what. I just assume because of all the people in the stands, you have older players over here, suits for the managers. And it doesn't tell you, so yeah, I'm curious. Let me know what you think on this side of things. I'm not an expert in postcards, but they do interest me a little bit. Okay, Connie Mack over here of Lou Gehrig in A4. I can't remember if it was REA or Heritage that we saw the 251 Connie Macks that sold for an incredible amount. Obviously, Lou Gehrig is not one of those two players, but you saw a final price of $5,500 on this. And I have seen some of these without the top section before. That has been removed, but they weren't even close to $5,500. All right, M116 Sporting Life of Ty Cobb, part of the Nagy collection. Multiple different background colors based around these. And you can find a lot of these in high grade too. This release, there's quite a few out there. This sold for $6,000. The one thing I will say so far, taking a look at this, I believe Heritage added it to their site. I wish REA did. It's REA obviously just redesigned theirs. I wish they had the pops right there. It'd be so nice. Like if you could see, okay, this is the pop where it's at. And it's not here. It just seems like it's a missing feature if they're going to rebuild the site. Maybe I'll have a review on that. I didn't bid on this auction. And up next we have a 49 Leaf, Hal Newhouser. And it's a short print as it's mentioned over here in the title. These always have weird numberings and stuff like that. Kind of Leaf's version for there. They sell a lot more cards. By the way, watch our Leaf live stream. It's on the live tab on the channel if you want to learn more about Leaf. This sold for $6,250. Another Ty Cobb in a 3, bat off shoulder, sweet cap roll, and this one sold for $6,250. Let's take a look at the eye appeal on this one. I mean, this looks not too bad. I mean, it has that rounded corner there. And overall, not a horrible copy. Move forward, we have two Jackies back to back, 6,500 and 68. I guess also we should have probably grabbed another card because there's an autograph Jordan. I apologize. Let's take a look at these twos. Which one is going to be the nicer of these twos? So first off, this one over here, it looks like it has all of that missing. It looks like someone took a shark bite on that one. You can see a little bit over here, but really a ton on that side. A little bit of rounded corners, which again, it's a 2, so that's to be expected. But man, like you can even see it. It's more prevalent right over here. That is a lot of card missing to get a 2. You know, the corners on this one, they're a little bit worse. There's also a crease on it. But man, the other one has a shark bite. And you can see, oh, that crease is much worse. You can see there's multiple creases right there and also right there. There's paper loss down below on that side of things too. It sold for $65, and then shark bite sold for $6,800. Again, not making fun of the card. I'm just saying in general, like I don't think something with that much missing of the card should get a 2, and I'm a very critical grader, especially stuff if I add it to my personal collection. And I don't think this gets a 2 today, based off of the application of grading standards, which I believe has changed over time. So we'll jump those out over here, and then we'll look at a Cap Anson. And I really like these 94 Mayos, or 90, sorry, I should say 95 Mayos for baseball side of things. Still always have the belief that the 1890 boxing cards are not actually 1890. This is missing a chunk of the card, which again, I'm kind of surprised with that 2 grade. That's 2 cards that are missing chunks that I've gotten these. But, you know, if you got rid of that over here, everything else lines up with a 2 or even a higher grade, just based off of black border cards that typically are a little bit more lenient on these. This has pretty great imagery on it. And yeah, that Anson sold for $7,500. 2 back-to-back 51 Mantles. Man, some of these cards are selling back-to-back. We have an authentic over here, which sold for $7,750. And then you have this 2 with a giant crease. And I wish I had this grader. Look at that crease. From what I've been told in the past is if there's like major creases on a card, you're maximizing it at a 1.5 on the front. If it's on the back, you can still get a 2. But besides that crease, you know, this card doesn't look too bad. Obviously, you do have that corner on here, corner damage. But even that crease just goes right through the back over here. I don't think this deserves a 2 either. I'd give it a 1.5, maybe a 1. I don't know if I'd give it a 1. Probably a 1.5, just from the technical perspective. I mean, it has good eye appeal minus that crease. Like, if you got rid of this crease, I could see someone bumping this to a 2.5 or even a 3 based off other examples. But that crease is killing me on this copy. I mean, I'd rather have this A. I mean, look how nice this A is. I know it looks like there's a crease down over there. But look, this is a beautiful copy overall. And I wonder if it mentions why it got an authentic to being miscut along the edges. So it's not even trimmed, it's just miscut. They called that miscut over here. I mean, what would you rather have for the same price? That one with the huge crease with the 2, or this A at $7,750? Give me that A. It kind of goes back to the Ruth stuff, right? Let's take a look at this 2.5 on the Ruth. Again, application of grading standards, right? This right over here is a 2.5, and I just showed you that 51 Mantle that's a 2, that 49 Leaf Jackie that's a 2, the Cap Anson that's a 2. I mean, this looks like a great card, unless I'm missing something. Obviously, you have a little bit of corner wear there. But, like, again, look at the eye appeal of this compared to what I just showed you. I mean, it's insane to me. Great copy right here. Again, I'm not batching all cards, but this looks awesome on the Babe Ruth. One of his 4 Gaudies, this one sold for $11,500. All right, we're jumping into a Topps 3D of Roberto Clemente. This got a 1.5, and yeah, looks like it was pasted in an album of some sorts. There's a lot of glue there. I'm not sure if some of these other ones have glue specifically on them. I haven't personally held one of these in hand before. I have seen an uncut sheet at a show before. I think it was Strongsville. And I've seen a few of these in display cases. So, but I haven't really turned them over and things like that. And these are awesome. This sold for $18,500. And just a quick shout out to my eBay Top 25 series. We just covered one of these Clementes. I want to say it was a 2. It sold really high. And it looked really great from eye peel perspective. We're going to jump into a Satchel Paige. This has a tape on it, which I've seen tape cards either get a 1 or a 1.5. This one obviously got a 1, But like, look how nice this card is minus that tape. I mean, it's a great copy. You can go out here in the back. Well, I guess there's paper loss in the back, and that's why it got the 1 grade. I didn't see that initially. Either ink or pen mark. I want to say that's ink. Still, though, I think this is a good copy in general. It sold for about $20,000, which I think is the going rate right now, for about a 1. Like I said, you can find much worse ones out there. Authentic altered 1952 tops Mickey Mantle, $25,000. This seems a little cheap compared to some of the other authentic mantles I've seen sell on Facebook and stuff like that. Is the back terrible? No, the back's nice. Someone will actually do pretty well on this. I think, at least in the market today, you could probably sell this for 30 plus, or get 30 plus in trade easily. I mean, I've seen some terrible mantles sell for $30,000 plus, and this looks pretty good. I wonder why it got authentic. Due to exposure to a non-water substance, which has left a portion of the reverse displaying an uneven surface. So someone tried to curt this card, and it got $25,000. I say that jokingly, but great copy over here, in my opinion. If you're gonna spend 25 G's on a mantle card or more, like, this looks better than some of the 3s and 4s that I've seen. Okay, we have 4 cards left for a top 25. Contenders, Brady Auto. I don't believe this is one numbered to 100. No, it's not. This one sold for $26,000. BVG or BGS 9 with a 10 autograph. Then we jump into a 1915 Joe Jackson Cracker Jack with an authentic over here. Does it mention why I got the authentic grade? Due to being trimmed along multiple edges. Okay, well that makes sense. And probably can see it right here over here. Look, it looks trimmed right there. A lot uneven. These are easier to tell sometimes in person or even closer, but you can see bunny ears, right? And that's one of the ways to tell if it's trimmed. You can see it goes down and then up. See exactly where it's been trimmed. Still, right? Joe Jackson does have a ton of cards out there. This is pretty good eye appeal. Sold for $29,000. Number 2 is another 52 mantle. What is that? Our third 52? Oh, sorry, our second 52 mantle tops. Our third 52 mantle in general. This got a SGC3. It has a giant crease down over there. Look at that. I'm missing something because the eye appeal in this, like the first half, is great. Then you go down over here. There's 2 major creases, and again, I don't think that gets a 3 today because of those creases, but it's still nice eye appeal, I think, in general, and that's why it sold for $43,000. And our number 1 sale is going to be a 1980 Ricky Henderson in a 10. This sold for $125,000. I'm curious if this got consigned right after he passed away or if it was already consigned beforehand. But yeah, take a look at that over here. I'm curious what some past comps on 10s are. I don't have VCP next to me, but yeah, 125 with 92 bids. So what I want to do now is take a look at maybe some honorable mentions. We'll go back and take a look at the main page in a second, but I want to look at first kind of other sports, so boxing and other sports, and go through some of these. Obviously, I don't know every athlete, especially on the soccer side of things. I know Pele, and also, I'm going to mispronounce his last name, but this is, I believe, is a bigger soccer player as well. That's over $500. You have a Miners Extra over here, I believe. Actually, it's a Honest Long Cut, the T27. There's also baseball players in that set, Ty Cobb in particular. This sold for $325. Kind of beat up side of things. But this is one of the better Jack Johnson cards. Did I do highest bid? I didn't. Cool. Let's take a look at this. You have a real photo postcard collection. There's a lot of postcards in this auction. Some Leafs over here. More postcards. We'll look at a few things. This I saw before when they launched the new marketplace, but I forgot to bid on some stuff. There's some cool things in here. All right, I think there's enough here. Real photo postcard collection of 13. This sold for $225. Who's in here? Do I recognize any of the names? Battling Siki, I recognize that name. Gene Tooney, that's a big name over here. Nelson Attel's big name. Primo Canera, big name as well. I mean, these are pretty cool. I think this is a pretty good buy at $225. I mean, you're less than $20 a postcard. 48 Leaf boxing. Who's in here? You have Corbett, Jeffries, Jack Johnson, biggest name there. Well, Joe Louis is actually the biggest one there. This looks nice. How does the backs look? Ooh, that looks great. What did that sell for? $350. You get 21 of these. I mean, that Joe Louis alone could be a $350 card. I need to start bidding on some of these auctions. I forget, but that Joe Louis is really, really nice. Who else is in here? Did they have a Sugar Ray? I would assume it'd been on the first page, but sometimes you assume wrong. Nope, doesn't look like it. Still a really great lot, right? Corbett, Jeffries, Johnson, Attell, Joe Louis. And your money in this lot's that Joe Louis. Jack Johnson, 4 postcards right over here. This is a classic postcard. This sells alone for $100 plus. This lot of 4 sold for $200. We have a real photo of the Jeffries Johnson fight. 2 of those right there. Again, really great buy at this price point. I mean, I'd say at the minimum this is a $100 card, maybe $200. If it's clean, right? And this is a clean copy. It doesn't look like there's a lot of creases. Looks like no writing on the back. Someone got a great buy, because I would assume these real photos of this fight, which is one of the biggest boxing fights of all time, are at least 100 apiece, if not 200 apiece. This one over here is interesting because you do have a fight, but Jack Johnson is technically not in the photo. I'm not sure how much that would go for, but I actually really like the imagery on it. So great buy at that price point. A Hassan lot over here, well, 1910s lot in general. This Abe Attell alone is a $100 card. I own one of these, and also I've sold one of these before. So that's $100. The Gans is probably, what, $20 to $30 card. You have, what, Langford down there. Depends on what the back is. Langford's a Honest long cut also. I mean, you're looking pretty good on this lot. $190. Who else is in here over here? Might recognize anything else. Is that Zabisco, whatever his name is? Zabisco's in there. I don't know how much these other commons sell for. Great buy at $190 though. I mean, even these commons, they sell over time. You know, price them $3 to $5. Another great one. Well, I thought this was interesting. You have a golf collection, but you do have you have not only Sam Snead in here, you have Bob Hope, as well as Gerald Ford. So 3 really cool autographs. And this sold for $170. I believe Nancy Lopez is also a bigger name, if I remember correctly. But these are your 3 big ones. That seems like a steal at that price point. Steal. Were all these signed? I know they said these are out of 10,000. I don't know. Collection of 5 signed trading cards. A letter of authenticity from JSA. Yeah, so maybe not. I mean, I don't know how you go wrong at $170. You get those slabbed up. Someone made a great profit. Or if they're keeping there for collection, either way. Corbett, you have a medicine boxing cabinet card. I've seen some of these before. I want to say they were like $300. Still from the 1890s. And Corbett was a great boxer. So, again, a little bit under market price on that. Great buy. Okay, we're going to go into another category now, and let's take a look at football or basketball. So we'll actually get rid of that. Does this show both? I think it does. We'll go to football first, see if there's anything interesting in the first few pages. Jim Brown rookie in a 5, sold for $1,300. I am so glad I sold my BVG 5. I used to have a 5 of this. It sold for like $2,000. These have gone so far downhill, which is a shame, right? But you typically see that with athletes. As soon as they pass away, people flood the market, and there's not as many people trying to purchase them. I saw that happen with Bob Gibson. I've seen this happen with Jim Brown. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens to Ricky Henderson, right? I'm curious how the Willie Mays market is, but we have a 3 Jim Brown. We're going downhill quality pretty fast, but Thorpe in a 5, $425. A Cons, Jim Brown. I always like Cons stuff. I still think they're a little bit overvalued for what they are. $400 on that one. Maybe we'll load up that. Curious if there's any staining on the back. We'll go to the next page, and we'll take a look at basketball after. Unitas, card number 1 in a 7. Always a very popular card. Chickle over here. What did that sell for? $300 and a 3. That's a lot of 4 graded cards for $300. We'll look at that, see who's in there. I recognize some of those cards from far away. Used to have a ball and a 5. I want to say I sold it about $200, so that's about right. 59 and a PSA 9. I know a few set builders that watch these videos, so Bill sold for $225. We'll go one more page. I think I said that twice already, but okay. There's probably a few other lots and stuff like that, but let's load up basketball really quick. This is the cons. How does the back look? Pretty clean back. $425 on that side of things. And then who do we have here? Bart Starr. It's 4.5 auto and a 6. Nishiki and then a Johnny U. $300. I don't know how these would break out price wise, but you can do pretty well on lots. Sometimes people overpay. Sometimes people way underpay at auctions. But now let's take a look at some of the basketball. If anything really stands out. 57 Sweetwater in a 6, $700. Nothing really standing out. Oscar in a 2. All right. Well, you have a Pat Riley autograph on this side. Things for $150. Let's see how that looks. I mean, that autograph literally blends in into the card. That's tough. Definitely you wanted to get a different color, or if that Sharpie was dead. All right, and I guess lastly, let's just take a look at some of the other pages, see if anything really stands out. We'll go maybe like page to 5 or something like that. Morkai Brown autograph. It's interesting. Bobby Orr rookie card in a 2, $2,600. W575 Hornsby in a 4. What else is over here? A Cobb Gold in a 2. That sold for $2,300. 29 T206 cards. Could have been great. We'll load that up because they look pretty nice. DiMaggio. I sometimes like these Leafs that have... Briggs Meat's tough too. Load that up. And we'll load up this too because there's an interesting story I just read about. Anything else? All right, we'll go through a few of these. White borders over here. How do the backs look? They have clean backs. Oh, some of those aren't as clean. But they're all old mills. Potentially a really great buy there. You really priced it out. Sometimes you'll see these Leafs that have the wet sheet transfer on them. I think they're really cool. It just adds to the aesthetic on them. And that sold for $2,200. I get if people don't like it. I think it adds a lot of character. Briggs Meat's very, very tough food issue. That sold for $2,200. You'll see some staining on that. Why I brought this up is, personally, if you have any high-grade copies of this, I'd sell. I saw on Instagram, Heritage just picked up a huge lot of high-grade versions of Johnston cookies. So that market's going to get flooded. I don't know how many people are going after Johnston cookies. I mean, obviously there's a lot because it's an Aaron, but I mean, if the pops double or triple for those high grades, those prices are going to go down. So personally, if you have a high grade one of these, maybe try to sell it and buy it back when that auction happens, because it seems like that market's getting flooded. So once I brought that up, I have a Connie Mack over here. Swift meets Aaron. I haven't seen one of these sell in forever. Pinups Aaron. It's pretty cool Aaron stuff. Another T206 slot. We'll go one more page. That'll be page 5. This is always such a bizarre card, but it's pretty cool too. If you call it a card. And we'll go last one. This will be last stuff. But if you did bid in this auction, how do you like the new REA layout? I'm 50-50 on it. I do think some parts of it are cleaner, but also at the same side of things, like I wish they had pop reports built in over here. I still haven't even registered my new REA account. I think you have to register a new one, but I'm Buck Ewing in a 1 for $13.50. Hires Root Beer, Hank Aaron, GAI. I didn't even know GAI made giant slabs. We'll end off on that because I had no idea GAI had giant slabs, and I guess now I do. And yeah, I haven't seen any really in auction. But thanks guys for checking this out. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Always trying to cover these major auction recaps here. And if I ever do miss anything, just let me know down below in the comment section whether it's a major auction that happened or a card in these auctions. And also let us know if you won. All right, see you guys in another video.